I was asked about more detail on the battery pack and charger that I use for what was my scooter, and now I use this setup on my e-bike. With the scooter, out of this pack I'd get about 6 miles, and on the e-bike I now get about 12 or 14. So that's why I'm using the e-bike now. But the main part here is the charger, and then obviously the battery. And you'll need a power supply too, because this black box is the power supply. The charger doesn't come with one in it. It just runs off of 12 volts. So the power supply you'll see here, usually when this comes, it's got a couple of clamps to hook it to your battery. I just took those off and they plug in real nice to your power supply. And then that's enough power to turn on this charger, which is a great charger. It's 200 watts times 2, so total of 400 watts. So you'd want a 400 watt power supply if you wanted to drive it at full capacity. And if you were to do that, out of each one you'd be able to drive with these batteries, you'd safely be able to do it at 9 amps. So even if these were completely empty, you would be able to charge them in under an hour. And so if you look at other batteries, they really don't compare. I mean, that's pretty quick to be able to charge a battery of this capacity. The battery is actually just 2 of these, and I just took them and hooked them up in series, where I hooked the black to the red, and the connectors obviously fit right into each other. And each one is just 18.5 volts, so you hook them up together to get your 36 volts, and they're 8 amp hour. So you get 8 amp hour 36 volt battery by just connecting the 2. The power supply, if you get that from Hobby King, it's like 42 bucks. This charger's about 100, and then these batteries are about 150. And one quick trick, if you are on Hobby King, I've noticed if you sit on the page for long enough, they typically give you a better deal on whatever product you're looking at. So it might be worth sitting for a couple minutes and seeing what price they'll give you. It's set for LiPo charge. I just do it at 2 amps, and you'll notice I'm just using one side. The fan doesn't kick on until it gets pretty hot on this side, and so to keep it quiet, I'll charge the whole system without a fan even coming on, and it's kind of nice at work to not be a pain, not make too much noise for everybody else. So I do that and just do it at 2 amps because I don't want everything to get too hot, and that's plenty of current to get this charged by the end of the 8-hour day. LiPo batteries for hobby stuff, it all comes with these balancing tabs. And so what you'll do is the charger comes and you just plug that right in. It has capacity up to 6 cells, all in series. This is just 5 cells in series. You just plug that right into this 5th piece there, and then you've got these cables. You just connect red to red, black to black, and you're good to go. You'll notice on this side I've got a couple balancing tabs that fell off. What happened when I first had the e-bike, I shorted this battery, and so that short, it made these hot enough that they came off of the battery. So the deal with that is that typically you have a normal charge. You don't want to go full charge without a balancing, because you don't want one cell to be too high. So since this is broken, I only charge normal charge, and I don't charge it up all the way. As soon as I see it start coming down in amperage, I'll shut it off. But then you also have other options. You've got the balance, and if you wanted to balance, if you have these cords hooked up, that's what you would do, and you just hit enter, and it would kick on if you hold it. But obviously it's not hooked up, so that's not going to work. But that's as simple as it is. It's really just 1, 2, 3 things you need, and they're fairly cheap if you get them from the right place. This I got from Amazon. It really depends on quality. I haven't researched to find a good quality power supply, but I know this charger's been great and I've liked this battery here. One thing I did change on this battery that you may notice is that these connectors, they're different than what comes with the battery. What comes with the battery is 5.5 millimeter connectors, and these are 4.4 bullet connectors. And I would highly recommend not doing what I did here after the experience I've had. One, the gauge of this wire is so thick it makes it really difficult to attach these smaller connectors. So I'd keep the bigger connectors, and you'll need to get some 5.5 connectors for your scooter or your e-bike, and that'll allow you to just connect what's already on the battery. You won't have to solder here, you'll just have to solder the 5.5 connectors to your e-bike kit, or if you have a scooter, you'll have to take the connectors off of your scooter and put on some 5.5 connectors. So, hope this helps.